All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate it as always. Oh, all right. You can hear me, right? 0 by 0. All right, thank you, Viking Prepper. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jankman. Grow, Flown Grow, Bush Pig, Backwoods, Highland, Adriana, Jennifer, WTC, Jaleesa. Thank you for the 5x5. Ken, Oxford, Jeep Girl, Kathleen, Jam and Jake. Thank you for the 5x5. Thank you for the 69 by 818 181. The Fat. Thank you for the 5x5. Dobie, Cat Lady, Ozark, Lisa. Thank you for the 5x5. Ted. Thank you for the 5x5. Bug Lady. Thank you for the 5x5. Amanda, Maverick, Michigan. Jennifer again. Spotted Fawn, PA Mama Bear. Backwood Living, thank you for the 25 or the 624. Dan Phillips, Randy Wolf, Delta, Dan, Bubba One, Bob. Enough already, thank you for the 5x5. Janine, thank you for the 10x10x10. Simon Diamond, thank you for the 1010. Whatever that is. Halfling, actually. Live Free, thank you for the 25. Maybe So, thank you for the 556. Silvergram, thank you for the 5x5. Bob again. Jody, thank you for the 5x5. Your 5x6 as Joe Biden. Don't know what that means, but thank you for that. Tina, thank you for the 5x5. Blossom, Sarita, Bob, John, Theo Alexander, Paul F., thank you for the 5x5. Theo, thank you for the 3x4. Laura Larson, I'm not going to call it a direct energy weapon. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Kalista, Celine, thank you for the 5x5. Bob again. Bob, that's the third time. Nice going. John Shanks, PNW, thank you for the 5x5. Johnny D, thank you for the 5x5. Scott, thank you for the 556 308. Timothy, Benjamin, Cat Girl. Is that it? Cat Girl? Yeah, Cat Girl. Steaks, nice try. Lisa, thank you for the 5x5. Crow, thank you for the 5x5. Broadcasting from the storage closet. Because of the moving box. I'm actually in PA. I'm at my mother's place. Jenny, Gary, thank you for the 5x5. Scrapper, thank you for the 5x5. And William, thank you for the loud and clear. Kathleen, negligence? I don't know. So I did the video on this already. I actually did it earlier today, right? You guys will see the video tomorrow morning. I'm gonna bring up some of the same points and then some different points. The shirt says, "I'm not for everyone." Right? Marty 1A. I'm not with the FDNY anymore. Well, I'm not with the FDNY anymore. So 2 plus 3 equals 4. Oxford. I'm in Langhorne. I think I'm in Langhorne. Yeah, I'm in Langhorne. This is like the I've said this before. I'll say it again. This is like where all the old people come to meet up. It's like if you were to do another sequel to Cocoon or a remake of Cocoon, you would come to Langhorne to recruit all the old people. That's where most of them are. Like everywhere you go, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Everybody's old here. You go to the diner, I'm the youngest guy there, and I'm 46. I'm already old, and I'm the youngest guy there. Someone says I look thinner. Thank you. Appreciate it. Try not to be a fat fuck anymore. 7. I started this at 279. I am now 261, 260, give or take. Trying to get down to 255 by either the end of this week or the middle of next week. Cheap Girl said, "You're near me." Very good. Foghorn Langhorn. No, yeah, just Langhorn. But anyway, so tonight, guys, on the Angry Truth, we're gonna talk about this Trump indictment crap. I swear it's such a stretch, and they feel it's like a desperate move. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Tonight, we're gonna talk about this whole Maui, Hawaii thing going on. I know that I mean it's been going on for a couple of days. I didn't want to talk about it yet because I wanted all the information to come in. I knew that the death count was going to be way higher than 30, right? Initially, when they came out with the death count, I think the death count initially was like 3 or 4 when I first heard it, or 5 maybe. Then it jumped up to 30. Now it's, I think, over 100, if not at 100. So, with that, at least with the death toll, that number is going to continue to change. The missing number is going to continue to come down, right? So supposedly there was 1,000 people missing. 100 were confirmed dead. The death number is going to go up and the missing is going to come down, because whether they find you alive or dead, the missing numbers do come down. Hopefully, those people that jumped into the ocean, hopefully none of them, like washed away or some crazy shit like that. Though there's video that I'm going to add into the video for tomorrow, where you see people in the water at night, but the water's up to their waist. But they got away from the heat and the fire, then they were wet. So those people sat in the water watching their belongings, their cars, because some people had to ditch their cars and jump in the water. So they watched all of that burn. You know what I mean? Like, initially when they reported it, it was a lot more dramatic than what it looked like. It would, when you watch the video, you'll see that they're just standing in waist-high water, like figuring out what to do next. I thought it was like they jumped off a cliff kind of shit. But nonetheless, it still sucks that they were in that situation, period. Margaret Thatcher, we're going to get to the 15-minute city talk a little later on. So, according to the news, this is one of the worst U.S. wildfires in American history as far as death goes. It was the largest death count in the past 100 years. As I was watching, or we were watching Maui burn, couldn't help to think how familiar it looked. Now, I know a lot of people looked at this and were thinking, nefarious or direct energy weapon, which I'm going to get into in a little bit, but it looked very, very familiar. And what rang out to me about that whole scene was it reminded me of Breezy Point, New York. So Breezy Point is in Rockaway, New York. Actually, it's part of the 5 boroughs, if I'm not mistaken. And Breezy Point's a small community of jerk-offs. All right. So one thing I don't like about Breezy Point is that Breezy Point residents never wanted you to use their beaches, never wanted you in their neighborhood, because their beach was supposedly theirs. Though I thought it was a public beach, they made it private. It was a weird thing. But anyway, they didn't like people being there. The hurricane hit, all of a sudden they wanted everybody to come and help them. So and it didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter if you were black or white. If you didn't belong in Breezy Point, you didn't belong in their beach. They made bones about it. So that being said, guys, it looked just like Breezy Point. Now, again, in the video tomorrow, you're going to see footage of what Breezy Point looked like, and it very similar to what happened to Maui. The problem with Maui, guys, is that way more people died. They had hurricane winds, sustained winds, that turns everything into a blowtorch. So now there was a guy on Instagram who was saying that the place looked like a bomb went off, and he was talking all this shit. Clearly the guy doesn't know anything about science, fire, and things of that nature. And not everybody's supposed to. But at the very inanimate, I think that's it, right? Inanimate, yes, fire does move that fast. And that's part of the problem. And it's not, listen, I wouldn't call it ignorant. I would just say you don't know. Right? If you never learned about fire, if you were never a fireman, if you weren't a wildland fireman, especially wildland firemen, wild firefighters, they see some fast moving shit, man. And I've seen some footage of how it moves, and like when you're in there, it moves a hell of a lot faster than you think. When you're looking at a video footage or helicopter footage of fire moving in a wildland fire, you can see it moving. It looks like a living, breathing creature. When you're standing in front of it or near it, it fucking like that. So of course, over years, guys, wildland firefighters have died because fires move so fast. They just didn't expect that wind to pick up and push that fire. You got wind, fire, and fuel, which are trees. In the wildland fire case, trees. That's going to move, and it's going to move at an alarming fast pace. Anna, right. So that's what happened in Breezy Point. The electricity wasn't shut off before the hurricane. That's the same thing that they're saying happened here in Maui. And the only reason why I'm leaning in that direction, because it's the same shit that happened in Breezy Point. Now, even if it was a direct energy weapon, which I'm going to get into a little more later, you would need multiple shots to set that off, right? Could HARP played a role to produce that wind? Probably, right? That's always you can always put that on the table and entertain it, but we can't sink into it and be like, this is what it was. We don't know what it was. We don't know if it was a direct energy weapon. We don't know if it was intentionally done. We don't know if it was because the power was left on. Nothing. Listen, the officials in Hawaii, Maui, that is, they don't know how it was started. They are leaning towards the electric company not shutting off the power, but they're still trying to figure out why it happened, right? So there's a lot to be said. And again, direct energy weapon leaves like a certain mark behind. If someone finds the source, fine. But I'm gonna lean on what it was. Now, could it intentionally been done, leaving the power on and foreseeing this to happen? Yes. It could have been done on purpose in that manner, in that they left it on knowing they should have shut it off. Knowing that this is a possibility, that this was going to happen, they should have shut it off, right? Nostradamus, yes, fires in forests are unpredictable. Fires are unpredictable, period. You can't look at a fire and go, yeah, man, like in a building, you will guess where the fire is going to go, right? Obviously, if it starts in the second floor, it's going to move its way up. If there are shafts in the building, if there are voids in the building, you know that the fire is going to work its way through those shafts and voids. If the windows open on the fire floor and above, it can auto-expose, meaning fire laps out of the window. Heat fire can catch the next floor above on fire as well. That has happened. Ember can float out of a fire scene or off a fire into a window and start an entirely new fire there. That has happened. Fire, guys, it's not something that you can sit there and guess where it's going to go. People are like, I've never seen fire move that fast. Fire moves faster than you think. It's not the movies where it's like you're in backdraft for Ladder 49 and a fire's creeping in the room and they're like, oh, there it is, and then they're putting it out. In an apartment, in a home, not so much a home, more like an apartment, and even an apartment at times, it can move fucking fast. You could blink and you could be surrounded by fire. Fire moves, guys, in an unpredictable manner. Now, in apartments, you can guess what a fire is going to do and where it's going to go. In a house, you can guess what it's going to do and guess where it's going to go. Especially if it starts building up more heat and there's no ventilation system. You get something created called not a backdraft. The fuck's that called? It'll come to me a little later. But it's where the entire room ignites on you. So if you're sitting in a room like this, and the fire is building up, it's burning, it's building up. There's no ventilation at that heat, but there's enough fuel for it. There's a little bit of oxygen for it to draw off of, to pull in, feed off the whatever it's burning, but it still builds heat. Flash over. The room could flash over like that. And there's stories of firefighters, if you look online, who were involved in flashovers. They'll tell you how fast that room lit up on them. The same thing goes for out in the wilderness, guys. Outside with trees, with homes. It fucking just lights up. if you don't know about fires, it's impossible for me to explain it to you without you actually learning about it or being in a fire and being like, yo, that shit moved faster than I thought. Christmas tree fires. Christmas tree fires are the fastest moving fucking fires that we see in apartments. It goes from fucking a tree being lit to lights out in seconds. And then the apartment turns into an oven within a minute or so, probably less than that. So, again, guys, it's not right, flashover, right? It's not an impossibility, right? When you're dealing with fire, this is not it. This is not something where you could just focus on energy weapons and energy weapons only. No, it's not overdraft. It's not a bank account. I like that, overdraft. It's called a flashover. So the entire room flashes at the it all ignites at once. And I've seen one video, but I heard a story, and when the guy told the story, that was some scary shit. He survived, clearly, because he told the story. But yeah, man, you get that. So backdraft is something different. Everybody that keeps putting backdraft, and somebody's gonna put flash dance at some fucking point in the chat because I see it coming. It's not flash dance, right? It's a flashover, and backdraft is something different, and not like the movie. The movie sort of sensationalized it, but anyway, I know grease fires are fast too. Matter of fact, real quick, guys. Side note, there's a video floating around about the idiocy that we're seeing today in the world is insane. But there was a fire on a box, right? And the box is on fire, and the box is like on the stove, and it catches fire. And they're sitting there looking at it like, oh my God, what do we do? And then they throw like a rag on it or some shit to put it out. Now they're putting flash dance. They try to put a rag on it to put it out, and the fucking girl runs and hits the fire alarm. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you hit a fire alarm on a little... Like, you could have taken a box and thrown it into the sink that was not even 12 inches away. You could have taken a box and you could have been like, boop, right in the sink. Put the water on, the fire would have been done. They're sitting there fucking screaming, yelling, videoing it, and then running over to the fucking fire alarm and pulling it for a small campfire. My God. Anyway. So, I saw that video. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is this? These Gen Z kids are stupid. But anyway. So, guys, death toll's going to go up. Only 25% of the area has been searched so far. Searched and cleared. Right? So, they're searching areas, guys, and they're finding bodies in the home. It looks like they found 4 people in a car. 2 of them being kids. And this was the chief of Maui, right? Was this the chief of Maui? Or was it chief of Lahani? Whichever it was. But he had 4 fucking stars, and he looked like he was ready to cry. And he was talking about how they're searching vehicles. People got trapped in their vehicles, and looks like they died in their vehicles. People got stuck in their homes, and definitely died in their homes. And he mentioned the 2 kids that they found. So clearly, guys, that number is going to go up. It's just a matter of time. Now, only 25% of it has been cleared. And people are thinking that they should be moving faster. That's a large fucking area to cover. That's a large area to cover, guys. And then the search to make sure, because this is what happens, the human body can, in intense heat, and especially heat like that, where the fire turns into a blowtorch because of the high winds, the body can fuse to the ground. And you can have a hard time, especially with all that debris, finding a human body, especially in a home. Whether the home collapsed or not makes it even harder. Because if the home collapsed, it's even harder to find them melted to the floors. So those grueling details are going to come out later. And trust me when I say it, guys, the fire report for that, if they release it to the public, it's going to be a long read. It's going to explain how a lot of the people were found. And it's going to be bad. And again, so a lot of the people that they're not going to be able to find right away, they're going to be finding in weeks to come. They're going to look at shit on the ground. They're going to look at things on the ground and go, what the fuck is that? And when they move it, it's going to break apart, and they're going to see either the meat or the bones. Right? So it's definitely going to be a shit show for the next couple of weeks for those that are searching for the remaining people that are missing. So, military. Oprah's house is always safe. The rich people's house is always safe. Never gets fucking touched. Then you got you got movie stars. It's so sad what happened there. I'm gonna go back to my party, and then they go back and do what they do. Like Jason Momoa. Like, instead of saying it's so sad what happened there, how about you fucking, get your hands dirty, get back over there and help out. I don't know. Janet, yes, they're gonna use cadaver dogs. Because after a while, the smell of the bodies will start, coming out from underneath the rubble, and then they're going to be able to find those people a lot faster as well. So once the body starts to ferment, if you will, then they'll be able to find a lot of the bodies. But again, guys, for those that are doing the search and rescue, a lot of those people have never seen anything like this. They've never dealt with anything like this. They've never seen this many bodies dead. The guy or the people who are running the morgue, they're going to have the bigger issue. Because keep in mind, guys, this is Hawaii. And Hawaii is a nice, peaceful, calm chain of islands. And Maui doesn't see that kind of fire. They don't see that kind of casualties. They don't have that kind of casualties, right? Nobody really does. For the doggy's guitar, yeah, I would say Ukraine is probably still getting more help than Maui. Absolutely. Everybody's focused on, we got to make sure that we stop Russia from invade, whatever. Meanwhile, Maui people are releasing videos and complaining about how they're not getting the help they need. They're running out of food and water. They ran out of food and water. So I forgot what agency is telling people they cannot donate if it doesn't come through Red Cross or FEMA. So a guy went to donate food, and because he wasn't with Red Cross or FEMA, he wasn't allowed to donate it. Imagine that bullshit. Puerto Rico got walloped by a hurricane, and they were taking everything and anything. But Hawaii, coincidentally, with all of this added bullshit I'm going to talk about in a little bit, went on, and they're not taking donations. Now, you can find a lot of these personal videos on Instagram. There's one Hawaiian who's talking about how he's got to get medication for his grandmother. And if he leaves the location, he thinks he won't be able to get back because they're giving people a hard time getting back into their homes and looking for shit that they need to look for or see if their home is still standing, which I'm 1,000% sure it isn't. But nonetheless, guys, this is we're going to see some ongoing crazy shit with this. Now, I know a lot of people, the people who are like, it's an energy weapon. There needs to be unequivocal proof, guys. We can't sit here and start throwing out the energy weapon thing. I'm going to get into that a little more because not that I'm annoyed by it. I can understand why people would think that. Absolutely. As one of the presidents of the Conspiracy Theory Club, yes, and I proclaim myself as president of, there's certain things that don't make bones about it. Don't tell everybody that's what it is. Tell everybody it could have been this. Right? We can't sit there, guys, and say this is what's going to be anymore. We don't fucking know. I mean, for some of the videos I did where I talked about the next depression being right around the corner or the food shortage starting starvation, none of that happened. Right? And because we saw the signs and we're looking at it, we're like, this should happen. But it doesn't. We should be... By the way the economy is moving, we should have been in a Great Depression already. I'm talking like a bad one, but we're not. We're still floating above. So, every video now moving forward talking about this shit is mights and maybes because we do not know. We don't know. We can't sit there and talk about how, it's going to happen. We don't fucking know if it's going to happen. That's the bottom line. Jason Wolf, yes, you follow the pattern, but sometimes the pattern deviates. I don't know if they do that on purpose. I don't know if they do that so that we're not right. Nonetheless, it does deviate, and it's been deviating a lot. But the two things, guys, that are not deviating are the 2050 and 2030 agenda plan. Those two seem not to be deviating because they're mentioned in every conference, guys, involving the World Economic Forum or the UN, United Nations. They're mentioning these 2 years as certain things they want to happen. All right? So, guys, with that, we're going to jump into a couple of facts. Now, Lahaina, apparently was in a court battle with some developers wanting to build high-rise condos and new businesses in Lahaina. And as they were, fighting this case, because Lahaina is a historical town, they actually won the case. That was a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So, of course, that didn't happen. They wanted the high-rises there, and they're like, no. Now, one thing that I understand about Hawaiians, especially older Hawaiians, like my age and older, maybe a little younger than me and older, they don't want any new technological bullshit on their island. They want to keep their island as natural as it possibly can, like any native people that were born, raised, and bred on that island, right? Hawaii belongs to the Hawaiians for the most part. They don't like that new technology shit. They don't want that EV cars and all that other crazy shit. They don't want any of that. Right? So that, guys, in itself is why a lot of Hawaiian towns and or cities will be fighting tooth and nail not to have any of that shit come in. You're going to see a lot of cases in Hawaii in years to come about them not wanting certain things there. So being that the high-rise condo thing was shut down, you mean to tell me coincidentally there's a fire that takes out that same area? I don't believe in coincidences, but I also, again, believe that they could take the opportunity to do X, Y, and Z, right? They could take the opportunity to now pounce on this. Could it have been a coincidence? I doubt it very much. I doubt it that there was this big land grab about to be made. They were shut down, and then this fire happened. Not to mention the governor of Hawaii, what the hell's his name? Josh Green, MD, excuse me, puts an MD at the next to his name. What governor puts an MD next to their name? I mean, I've never seen it before. I'm pretty sure it's been done before, but that's really fucking pretentious and obnoxious. Not the point. So anyway, he goes to the UN last month. He goes to the UN and he talks at the Sustainable Development Goals Conference. This is where they were talking about making certain cities sustainable with electric cars, battery charging stations in the home, powering the home as well, and then starting to develop more smart cities and smart city technology. Not so much smart cities, at least not yet. Smart city technology. Now, Josh Green, speaking at the UN, sits there and talks and boasts about how Hawaii is leading the way with the Green Initiative. Right? So, Mayor of Hawaii, yes, I would say it was on purpose, being that when I started looking deeper into what was going on, I'm like, motherfucker, right? There's one side of me that wants to sit there and be like, yes, this is fucking being done on purpose. There's another side of me that says, well, what if it was an accident and they're just taking advantage of the situation, right? But no, it's not. I'm not going to go with the direct weapon or the direct energy weapon shit. At least not yet. Anyway, arsons by white developers. Listen, Mira, the white developer shit, I'm going to throw that one right out of the window. Because the mayor of, I think it's Lahaina, wants this EV power grid initiative thing. He wants this green initiative in his city. He's all about it. So it's not white developers. There are a lot of native Hawaiian developers there as well, looking to make a move on Hawaii, right? It's not just a white man thing. Trust me, I was looking at the people involved. I'm like, these people are not white. Clearly not white, right? So anyway, I don't know, guys. I mean, like I said, looking at the facts, looking at the shit that just happened, looking at the conversations that were just had, this is this is definitely purposefully driven, and it's, again, guys, it's just too many coincidences. Again, you're at the UN 4 weeks ago. You had this happen, talking about Maui itself and the things that you want to do with your state. Then you have land developers or real estate guys lose out on putting high rises up, and then you have this happen. Both of those incidences, and in a fire, you know, coincidence definitely goes out the window. But anyway, Laura says we saw the laser. No, that Laura Larson. If you're talking about that video that blew up the house, that wasn't even in Hawaii. Now, I'm not saying that the energy weapons don't exist. I'm just saying it wasn't used in Hawaii. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't exist. That video was not in Hawaii. You know, and it makes my head itch. Like the shit that happened up in Canada where the fires started all at the same time, that is a signature of an energy weapon. Not the video you saw, laser coming out of the sky and boom. Direct energy weapons don't work like that. That's movie shit. Direct energy weapons have a almost. What I'd be saying next would sound wrong if you can understand. It's almost like an invisible laser that you can't see, that has a direct energy source, a heat source. If you stare at it, it looks like heat rising from the street, but it's more concentrated. But it's not like a laser like in the movies. This isn't Star Wars or Star Trek. That's how it works. The shit that you saw was some fucking skit that he pulled. He puts it in his video, and everybody's like, "Oh, look!" And when I saw the video, I knew it was full of shit. But anyway, and Bell Star said it was an old video. On top of that, but yeah, guys. It sounds. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the vaccinated did this. No, let me not start that shit. Just kidding. So, with that, guys, Maui's on a list of islands to become a smart city. There's a bunch of cities and towns in Hawaii, total, that's looking to become smart cities. Matter of fact, Oahu is on deck to being transformed into a smart city, too. And their cities... Sorry. Oahu is a... What is that called? A state, a county, whatever it is. Cities in Oahu, in the island of Oahu, cities in Oahu are on deck to become smart cities. Sorry. So, that's definitely something to look at. And look at Oahu if they're going to have a, I don't know, fucking forest fire out of nowhere. You got to look at them as well. But there's a program, guys, that they're starting in Maui called Jumpstart Maui. Look it up yourself. Laura said you can see lasers because of the particles. Yes, Laura Larson, but it's not a laser. It's an direct energy weapon, right? Direct energy weapons are not lasers per se. It's almost like an invisible laser. The reason why is so that their enemies can't see it. Now, depending on from what I've read about direct energy weapons, if you fire it at a certain angle, you can see it. If it bounces off of light from the sun or some shit like that, you can see a glimpse of it, and that's a glimpse if you can catch it. But it's not a laser like in the movies. It again. You know what? Matter of fact, just look, read up on it yourself. You see what they are. They're not like the movies. It's not like pew 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 pew. Like again, this is not Star Wars. There's no lightsabers. It's not a direct light source. It's like almost like an invisible ray, if that makes sense. But Betsy says tragic, yes, nefarious. I'm gonna go on the limb to say probably. With all of this shit happening with the United Nations, the governor of Hawaii meeting at the United Nations, then you have this Jumpstart Maui program. Again, you guys can look it up yourself. There is a PDF on what they're doing with it. It's interesting, to say the least, but all of these things, guys, all of these programs and these cities, or rather islands being put on a list and cities being put on a list to be the next smart cities, this can't be a coincidence. And it can't be a coincidence that Maui was one of the islands that was on it. Now, Lahaina wasn't on the list. There was actually another city called Lanikai. Sorry, that if I pronounced it right, that was one of the cities that was actually in Oahu that sounds like Lahaina, right? At least the spelling looks similar when you spell it out. But that city was also on the list of cities to be a smart city in Oahu. Maui, the island of Maui, was on the list of being a smart island. Sorry, not a smart city. I don't know why I keep saying smart city. A smart island. They want to make the entire island of Maui a smart island. Or they call it City Island, which is fucking weird. But anyway, and they have a plan for it. The plan, guys, is to start small and build big. That's what Jumpstart Maui is. Jumpstart Maui is that initiative. I would call it a electric car power grid initiative. Herman Brown, man, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate it. LPFX says Lahaina wasn't because the natives wouldn't give it up. It's not that they wouldn't give it up. They wouldn't allow high-rises to be built on it. But there are other fights going on where they want Hawaiians to give up certain islands, certain smaller islands, because of its location. Resorts, for example, went after, this is in the 80s, in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, where a lot of resorts were going after certain island spots, and they were trying to take these people to court, and of course the court's going to side with them, right? Someone said, I'm dying each time you say it, Lahaina. It's Lahaina. Am I saying it wrong? If I'm saying it wrong, whatever, deal with it. Fuck it. It's okay. You guys know what I mean. Are people white and... No, people are not... Well, yes, they are. There are white people in Maui. Because I was listening to this lady talk, and I'm like, oh, shit, she sounds, Hawaiian, man. Yes, Jumpstart Maui is the name of the project. Yeah, it's the name of the project. Or a program, rather. It's more of a program than it's a project. It's a program, and again, look at the PDF file, read it up, you'll see what they want to do. And what they want to do isn't like, at first glance, it doesn't look bad, because again, they want people with EV cars, they want the power charging stations in the home, they want solar panels on the roof so that you can charge your EV stations, and you can also power up your home with this, right? So it's like a 2-for-1 kind of deal. This is something, guys, that they're looking to do. Now, it's the first step in making somewhere a smart city or a smart island, right? So it's people, again, guys, it's like the frog in a pot syndrome. It's what we are not seeing, or people are not seeing far enough to go, oh shit, I didn't see that, right? Nobody's looking far ahead. They're looking at the now and go, well, initially this plan looks okay. We just want people to make sure they have this and that. But you're putting devices that you can control through the internet, or the government can control anywhere they want by putting these things in your home. Oh, we didn't like what you said on the internet. We're shutting your fucking EV power charger down, right? It starts with the little thing, guys, and then it grows into something big. Jumpstart Maui is that something small that it's starting with that it seemingly looks harmless, because you're like, oh, they want to give these people new cars and yada, yada, yada. It's not yada, yada, yada. It's they want to give people cars. They want to give people power banks, solar panels. Let's start with that. Oh, matter of fact, if you guys tap into the internet so we can monitor what your power is, what's coming in and what's going out, so we can correctly bill you. Oh, you know what? Do you give us permission so we can have control over how the power is being used in your home? Okay. Then you start giving them these little controls, guys. You start giving these little things. When you start stitching these little things together, it turns into a fucking nightmare once you put it together. But we're not looking at the future. We're looking at the now and not the future. And if you look at the future, you know that, guys, this is ultimately going to end up to be a bad idea, right? Look at the whole ring thing. Everybody wants to, everybody's getting a Ring camera. I don't fucking know why, but everybody wants a Ring camera. Some people are putting those Ring cameras in their home. So what? So that you can have people fucking spy on you? Chinese own plenty of Hawaii, and so do the Japanese, Alex. The Japanese also do too. And I didn't know that. I only knew like the Chinese living there and owning it. But there's a lot of plans going on with the Green Initiative, and the Japanese are behind a lot of it. In fact, the Japanese are helping with the Jumpstart Maui program, right? So it's the Japanese are buying a lot into Hawaii itself as well. This whole time I'm thinking it's all owned by China at this point. Not at all, So yeah, it's they can reclaim the island. That's a good one. Wild it says send weapons to Maui so they can reclaim their island. Listen, that's the one thing. That's the one downside about being an island, guys. The one thing about being an island is that when some shit happens, now it's like what we talked about being a prepper. When the shit is on, guys, now they gotta wait for fucking shit to come off a boat or a plane onto their island and then get to the ports, get distributed into vans, trucks, cars, whatever it is, and then get sent out. That takes time. That takes a lot of time. And this is why we prep. And if you're a Hawaiian, hopefully you're prepping. Hopefully you're a prepper. Because this is the kind of disaster that's going to initiate your preps. You're going to be like, well, we have enough water and food. We're good to go. But in Hawaii, everybody's friendly to one another. Everybody's kind of, okay, let me not draw this fantasy picture of Hawaii. But most Hawaiians are nice to one another, and they're more family-oriented than you would, let's say, New York City. So more people are inclined to help. So being a prepper in a place like Hawaii is a little tough, especially if you're really good with your neighbors and shit. Then you're going to have a hard time not sharing your shit with them. So that's the downside to it. But supposedly, I got a message that they're starting to loot in Hawaii. In Maui, rather, sorry. Because of the lack of food and water. Again, goes back to that video of that guy talking about how there's a lack of food and water, and they're having issues with this. And they're being stopped or being told that they can't donate because they're not Red Cross or FEMA, which is, again, complete bullshit. Maui is like 20% Hawaiians, the rest is tourists. Okay, all right, I didn't know that. Hawaii is extremely hostile to gun owners. That sucks. You can't own guns in Hawaii? I mean, I don't know anything about gun ownership in Hawaii. But someone said we just ate 2021 dated spaghetti for dinner. Yeah, and that's not bad, right? You're not gonna die from it. But no show friends is a terrible waste of time and life force. I guess they do. It's funny because going to Greece, and my wife sends me a link about Greece tourism and how pickpocketing is like a big to-do out there. And I said, listen, I'd be fucking shocked if someone tried to pickpocket me. Like, I really would be. I'd be floored if someone pickpocketed me. Because, I mean, first of all, I'm super aware of my surroundings. I don't fall for the bullshit, hand on the shoulder and then someone rubs again. I don't fall for the bump shoulder thing. I don't fall for any of that shit. Because I live in New York City. Pickpocket capital at one time, man. Fucking downtown, 34th Street, 42nd Street. They used to pickpocket you all goddamn day. The guy be looking you in the fucking face, be like, hey, man, and he fucking take the fucking money right out of your fucking wallet while you're looking at him, So, over the years, you learn how to avoid being pickpocketed. So I'm like, I'm going to go to Greece and get pickpocketed there? The fuck out of here. Those guys better go fucking, pound sand up their ass or some shit. But that's not happening. But she's really nervous about it. I'm like, don't worry about it. We're not going to get pickpocketed. We watch each other's backs. We'll be fine. That's all. And that's the thing. It's like, we're going in a group. It's not like I'm by myself or she's by herself. We're going in a group. It'll be fine. But she's worried about getting pickpocketed. I'm like, anywhere you go outside of the United States, like if you go to Mexico, Mexico, they do a lot of other shit than pickpocket. They trap you and all other shit. You can go to other countries, guys, and they trap you. You can go to fucking other places and they set you up like a guy on Instagram He's fucking this girl is drunk and her friend's carrying her, and I don't know what she says to the dude, but the dude stops to help her out. He's like, oh, like fucking dudes trying to help her out, like baby, baby, like he's fucking helping her, and the chick stabs him with a knife or a syringe in his back. I was like, this motherfucker fell for it. Because as soon as the chick leaves my peripheral, I know what she's up to. You're not going to leave your friend who's drunk and you disappear out of my peripheral. I know you're up to no good automatically. She would have moved. First of all, she would have moved too far to here, and she would have kept going this way. I would have immediately switched my position. I wouldn't have let that bitch fucking stand behind me. Then she jabs. I think it looked like a syringe or a knife. I couldn't tell, but it was a stabbing motion. It wasn't even a stabbing motion. It had to be a syringe because she stabbed him in the back once. She didn't pull it out and do it again. She did it once, so it might have been a syringe. But anyway, my point is, man, fuck those people. It's you got to be aware of your surroundings. You can't sit there and act like you're in Italy and it's all love and spaghetti and meatballs and fucking Italian food and wine. It's not all that shit. You gotta when you go to places, you gotta look out for shit. You go to France, forget about it. France is a shithole. Like Paris is a shithole, right? Certain spots of Paris is a shithole. And so you can't go there going woo wee la la love, and you can't. No, man, you can't do that shit. You gotta fucking be Johnny in the spot. You gotta keep your eyes about you and still enjoy your vacation. Not saying go there and ruin your shit, but you gotta be, you gotta be fucking with it, man. You can't be fucking lost in the mix. You can't sit there and you can't sit there and just be like baguettes and shit. Like, don't do that. Just keep your head about you, man. You come to New York City, you can't be like, the fucking Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, I want a bagel. And then you get fucking stabbed, shot, and raped, and not in that fucking order. Always keep your wits about you when you go somewhere else. You're in your hometown, you could drive it down, not to zero, but way lower than if you're in the city. Right? Your situational awareness doesn't have to be as high if you're in a small town. Your situational awareness doesn't have to be high when you're in your home. But as soon as you step outside or you leave your comfort zone, if you will, you got to drive it back up, man. You got to be fucking Johnny on the spot. I said baguettes. I like my baguettes, and everybody's like, the bread is great there. Fuck the bread, man. I came here to take pictures and fucking go home. Fucking bread. I can get baguettes at home, and people will motherfuck me for saying this. Well, you can't get a good baguette anywhere else but France or Paris, rather. I'm like, probably so. So now, guys, there's a lot of smart city talk, technology, EV talk in Hawaii as a whole. The entire state of Hawaii, rather. Sorry, all the islands, they're talking about it. Now, there's certain islands that are owned by certain tribes or families. They're not letting it go. So you can kiss that shit goodbye. But these corporations or real estate companies or developers, if you will, they're going to keep trying to get land from Hawaii. And they're going to get shut down, and we're probably going to see more of this. Now, should we see a couple of more after the judge favors the people of Hawaii? Then yeah, But I mean, this is just too much of a coincidence to ignore it, is what I'm saying. It should not be ignored. We shouldn't be like, oh, it just happens. No, this just doesn't fucking happen. Pastries are great. Someone said pastries are great in France. I guess. I wouldn't fucking know. If you go to France and you order French fries, you gotta say freedom fries. You can't go there and say anything else. I annoy people when I say that. I don't give a fuck. You go somewhere like, yo, I want freedom fries. Because the French are sellouts. Don't say sellout in France. Just be like, I want freedom fries. You're like, what's that? Fries. Don't ever say French fries. It annoys them when you do that. It annoys people when you do that. So when you're in France and you don't call them French fries, that'll really annoy them. Just a fucking shy mom. But, guys, baguettes don't make good sandwiches. I guess not. Don't know, right? Yeah, because it's too thin. Amanda said, I'm getting a shirt made like yours, but just in yellow. Also, Michigan Lifestyle, thank you for that. Guys, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumb. Yeah, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. The thumbs up are pretty high, though. I'm on YouTube, because I'm looking at the YouTube monitor here. It's only 41. But yeah, do me a favor, start it. Don't start it. Whatever. Hit it, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. If you hate me because I said it's not a direct energy weapon, whatever, you'll get over it. Have a Kit Kat bar or Snickers, go to sleep, wake up. You'll fucking love me in the morning. It'll be fine. Stay in your lane. Baguettes would make 4-foot long skinny sub. Yeah, baguettes are not great sandwich bread, but somehow people make it work. So, yeah. Fucking strange. Don't have any French people in your Mac, they'll turn on you. Nice one. They'll turn on you. They'll sell you out, man. They'll sell you out for a baguette. Baguette and a crumpet. Is crumpet a French thing? Probably isn't. What do I know? Thumbs down don't work anymore. He said thumbs down don't work anymore. All right. Wait, what do you mean it doesn't work anymore? I have the thumbs down here. Boop. I gave myself a thumbs down. And then it says share with the creator. Oh, no. Yeah, I just gave myself a thumbs down. It works. But, Australians, I'm an Australian-born frog muncher. Don't know if I want to act... Crumpet is British. Thank you, Teddy Roosevelt. It is. Why the fuck did I say that I was French? Right, tea and crumpet. Right. Those fucking people and their tea. They make fun of us and our burgers and hot dogs, right? Whatever. Crumpet is British. What do I know, man? I'm not fucking worldly like that. And it's funny, because I make fun of the British, and I always go to tea and crumpet motherfuckers. And then I connected that to the French. Whatever. French dip Arby's. Nice. But, guys, so... Sorry, let me finish this off. So, direct energy beam or weapon is another rumor that's going around. And some people are playing that angle a little too hard. Now, granted, guys, could you throw that on the table and have it be a possibility? In the prepper world, in the conspiracy theory world, yes. Throw it on the table, let it be a possibility. Look at it, smile at it, and go, all right, we're going to entertain this one. We're going to put it here. We're going to see where this goes. We're going to see if we can find any proof that it was used. That's what you have to do. There are numerous people walking around, I don't mean to say that, but walking around Hawaii or Maui looking for survivors. If a direct energy weapon was used, you're going to see the markings of it, right? But if it wasn't, yeah, then we can't keep going with it, guys. Every nation right now is working on and or has a direct energy weapon, right? They even have the mobile ones. They have these mobile ones now that they can mount on fucking trucks, right? So they're just not satellite based like a lot of people think it is. Sort of like the movie with Val Kilmer. What was it called? Not Weird Science. Oh shit! Somebody help me out here. The one with the beam, and the popcorn at the end. What the hell was the name of that movie? That was a good one, too. Not Weird Science, because Weird Science was with Michael C. Hall, right? That was Weird Science. But it was something... Real Genius, thank you. Science wasn't even nowhere in it. Thank you, Sarita. Science wasn't even in that title. Real Genius, thank you. That's what it was. That was like the direct energy weapon, right? And in a movie, they had to make it a beam to show you, but in real life, it's invisible. You can't see it. Like Joe FW, you can't see it. Real Genius, thank you. Not Willow. Seriously, Dan? Motherfucker said Willow. No, Dion, the Saint was about cold fusion. So no. But yeah, that's another science movie. So, yeah, Real Genius. He said fucking Willow. Seriously, man? Shit. Anyway, Real Genius was a good movie. Even when you watch it now, it's still a good movie, man, you know? And Weird Science is still a good movie, believe it or not, you know? Yeah, no, Kelly LeBrock was hot. And then, like, somebody hit her with a frying pan 8,000 times. You're like, come on, lady. Like, you didn't have to go fucking heavy on the work on your face, you know? Army working on laser weapons. Buckaroo Banzai? Nice. That was a good one, too. If they redid Buckaroo Banzai, that would be cool. That would be cool. With the special effects we have today, they could do some damage with a remake of Buckaroo Banzai. Celsius, 68 Fahrenheit. Where am I today? There's still winter down here. Wolf Mule said it's still cold down there. No shit. In the movies, you could see the beam. Yes, Charles. In the movie, you could see the beam, but in real life, you wouldn't. Someone said Ice Pirates. Holy shit. Fucking Ice Pirates. You know, I watched Ice Pirates the other day. You know why I watched Ice Pirates? Because of the robots. When I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was fascinated with the robot. And of course, when they came out with the black robot, that was pretty cool too. I thought that was stylish back then. That was a good movie, man. Ice Pirates. Casablanca. I haven't seen that movie. Believe it or not, I have not seen that movie. Summer Sanders? No, I don't. Phantasm was a good movie. I liked Phantasm. That was a really good movie. Alright, guys. So, listen, energy weapon, I mean, again, you can entertain the idea. I wouldn't sit there and say that's what it is. And the guy on IG saying that's what it is, that's a little much, you know? A little much. But anyway, guys, here's the other thing that I noticed. So officials have determined the cause of wildfires that have killed... The officials have not determined the cause of the wildfires that have killed dozens of people, 100 of people in Hawaii. But there's been no public evidence that they were set intentionally. If you have not determined what caused it, how do you know it wasn't done intentionally? Right, so now they're falling back on the electric company. And if it was the electric company's fault, guys, which again, I could see them doing that, I could see that happening. I can also see that happening on purpose, but I can see that happening with the electric company because we witnessed it in Breezy Point. We saw it firsthand at Breezy Point, and I have a ton of pictures on my other drive that I don't have with me when I was in Breezy Point. I took a couple of photos when I was out there. Matter of fact, some of you might have seen it on my early channel when I had my intro. When I first had my Angry Prepper channel. If some of you remember my original channel, my first intro had the Breezy Point destruction in it, right? And I can't find, I thought I had those pictures on my laptop, or I don't have them anywhere. It's on my fucking drive at home. So that's that. But if I come up with them, I will post those pictures on the Instagram. The Instagram. Now I'm fucking old. The Instagram? Who says the Instagram? Old people. You know why I'm saying the Instagram? Because I'm hanging around old people. Next week I'm going to be saying, and near that place, the Twitter, you know, or the Facebook, when you put "the" before anything, you sound old. You sound old. Fuck. Anyway, I'm going to put some of those pictures on Instagram. Matter of fact, you might be able to dig deep on my Instagram and see some of those pictures on there. You might be able to go back down to the beginning and you'll see some Instagrams on there, you know? Joel said you're a Fed too. Yeah, man, I'm a Fed. That's right. Because I'm using logic, and not everything is a conspiracy theory. I love conspiracy theories. Not everything is a conspiracy theory, Joel. Sorry. You know, if everything's a conspiracy theory, you're gonna live a very short life. You're gonna be stressed out about everything and anything. You know, so yeah. I hate social media. Yeah, see, the Walmart. I say, hey, where you going? I'm going to the Walmart. You want some coffee? You want the coffee? Like, you sound old when you say shit like that, man. And then I said, the Instagram? Oh, my God. I gotta fucking go out and run around and do some push-ups or some shit. The Angry Fred. Yes, I'm the Angry Fred. When are you getting out of New York City? I don't know anymore. I thought I knew, but the trailer thing fell apart. And again, I have some news that I have to wait to talk about in the next couple of weeks. And upon that, and how that turns out, you guys will know firsthand. Yo, Rebecca, so you know the crazy shit about the conspiracy theories is that a lot of it has come true, right? A lot of us have talked about this shit, seen this shit, heard about things, and a lot of things have come true. But not everything could be is a conspiracy theory, you know? And I only say maybe because I'm not going to sit here and be staunch 100% and be like, obviously there's no coincidence. And not when you have your governor talking about how you guys are, you know, leading the way in the Green Initiative, and then you have a lawsuit or a case rather that went down about building high rises in a historical town, which the thinking about it, guys, real estate companies and developers should have known not even to press that issue. There are a lot of historical places in Hawaii. A lot of towns are historical. A lot of land is historical and sacred at that. Right? So, being that they were pushing this and then this happens, yeah, I don't believe in coincidence, but I'm not going to sit here and be a staunch 100%. I need some more proof. You cannot sit there. ATF. Yes, I am an ATF agent. ATF is way cooler than the Fed. Seriously. But it shows you things. No one likes to pet the dog backwards, but it shows you things. That's a weird one. And Terry, it's still live. I'm still live. I'm about to go off the air and switch over to the Angry Truth. But, yeah, guys. Listen. My personal opinion, this was done on purpose. That's my personal opinion. But when I'm talking to the public, I don't want to sit there and say I'm 100% sure. I am highly sure, but I'm not 100% sure. All right? There's a lot of things that are going to happen in the next couple of years that I'm highly sure of is going to happen, but I'm not 100% sure. Right? 100% sure would be like, all right, we got to do some shit next. I'm highly fucking sure that the next few things that happen over the next years is going to be fucking, it's going to cause mayhem on this planet, in this country, around the world. But this thing in Hawaii, there's just too many, I don't know, and there's too many things I'm thinking, yeah, man, this is done intentional. Someone said, I think you're an undercover firefighter. Pretending to be a civilian. That's a good one. Miss K, yes, the Great Reset's been activated for a while. Oh, and they're trying to, by the way, real quick before I go off, YouTube is now going after cancer misinformation. I wonder fucking why. We are watching cancer rates skyrocket, and we all know why. They're going after a lot of channels, so I might be losing some videos. I don't know. I never said anything directly because I know that they have a cancer protocol, like a misinformation cancer thing on here as well. So I haven't been too bad about it. But if certain channels start going off the air, losing videos, or getting strikes, that's because they're implementing their next cancer misinformation campaign on YouTube. So just look out for that. Kathleen, exactly. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk more about the On Ticket next week, but I found out some information about some new shit and people I know who are developing medical issues and bad medical issues because of this. Right? So, anyway, guys, I'm going to see you guys over in the Angry Truth in about like 1 minute. I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the support. And I'll see some of you guys over in the Angry Truth. And tomorrow, Wednesday, the midweek report. Wednesday midweek report. I'll be doing that tomorrow as well. All right? Highlands Husky. Exactly. Right. The sarcasm, right? Exactly. Good night, guys.